Hello Year 6 and welcome to today's maths lesson. Now, last maths lesson of the week. And today we're going to look at Roman numerals. Now, sometimes we do maths and I say, this is really important and you're going to use this for the rest of your life. Other times I say, this is just one of those things that I need to teach you, that I've been told I need to teach you. Roman numerals is one of them. I'm going to be honest with you. Once you leave school, you're not going to use Roman numerals all that much, but it is something we need to look at. Okay, so we're only going to spend this one lesson on it probably all year. So let's get into the text and then I can help you make sure you know what you're doing with them. I mean, we use them every day in our dates, but hopefully we'll fly through it today. Here we go.
Okay, so Roman numerals are a different way of writing numbers. It's not a way that we use very often, but like I said, it is something that you have to be able to understand. So these are the facts. Okay, so every time there's an I, it's worth of 1. So if you've got 3 I's, it's 3. But then when we get to 4, it's important to recognize that we say that it is 1 before 5, okay, because the V is 5. It's 1 before 5, so it is 4. Hopefully that makes sense. Then we've got 6, so that's 5, add that 1, so that's going to be a 6. X is 10, so 1 before 10 is going to be 9. Can you see the way the 1 is before the 10? If the 1 comes after the 10, so if it was that, it would be the 10, add 1, so that's 11. Whereas 1 before 10 means that it's 9. Okay, be careful with that. That's all of our numbers up to 10. Then we've got L, which equals 50. I'm just going to put a circle around what I think are the most important ones. That's not a circle, it's a square, but you get my point. Okay, so L is 50. So if we end up with 10 before 50, that's a 40. If we had something like L, II, that means it's 50 plus those 2, so that's 52. If we had something like LXX, that means we've got 50 plus that 10 plus that 10, so 50, 60, 70, that's going to be 70. Another important one is C, which is worth 100, like century. Okay, and then so 10 before the century will be 90. Another important one to remember is this D, which is 500. So 100 before that D will be 400. And then the final important one to remember is this M, which is 1,000. So CM, if we remember that C is 100, that means that it's 100 before 1,000, which is 900. Now I realise I've gone quite fast there, but if you need to look through it and go slower, that's absolutely fine. What I'm going to do now is go through a few examples. So we might get this number, and we might need to work out what number it is. Right, well X, if we look over here, is a 10. So I've got 10, and I would get used to kind of writing it like this, 10. The V is a 5, and the I is a 1, so that is 1. So we just add all of these up. So 10 add 10 add 5 add 1 is going to get me to 26. Straightforward when it's like that. It's not always that straightforward though, if I'm being honest. Next one. Have I joined the audio on this? No, I have. I hope. Next one. So XXXIX. So we've got this 10, and this 10. Now, then we've got a 1 followed by a 10. So because it's got a small thing followed by a bigger thing, that means that it is 1 less than 10. So this bit here is a 9. So my answer is 10 add 10 add 10 is 30, add the 9, 39. Next one, XCIV. Well, a C is worth 100 and that's worth a 10. So because it's a smaller thing in front of a bigger thing, that means that it must be 10 less than 100. So this bit is worth 90. And then this bit I've got a 1 and then a 5. So because it's a small thing before a bigger thing, it is 1 less than 5, which is going to be 4. So my answer is 94. Hopefully this is making sense. Just keep using these. So then I've got CCXXVII. So what is a C worth? It's worth 100. So that's going to be 100. That C is going to be 100. Then I've got 2 10s and a 5 and a 1s. So it's all in the right order, so I know that there's nothing like before something. So that's a 10. That's a 10. That's a 5. And then that's like 2 1s, that's a 2. So then I just put them all together. So 100, 200, 210, 220, 225, 226, 7. There's like 3 more maybe. Okay, D. What does a D stand for? It's 500. So I've got 500. C is 100, so that's, well, if I do both of those together, that's 200. Then I've got 1 before a V. That's wrong. I'm going to change it, sorry. That doesn't make sense at all. Let's make it to an L. So then I've got, that's it, and that doesn't make sense. Let's do that, my mistake, sorry. Then I've got a 10 before a 50. So 10 before 50 is going to be 40. And then I've got a 1 before a 10, so that bit must be 9. So my answer is 749. Last couple. So M means 1,000. So these 2 M's, that means that it is 2,000. We should be quite used to writing MM because we've been doing that every day in maths, like MM. Then we've got 100, but then we've got 500. So it's 100 before 500, so that bit is going to be 400. Then I've got 2 10s, which is going to be 20. Then I've got 2 2s, which is going to be 2. So my answer is 2,422. 2,422. Okay, I think this is the last one. So I've got 1,000. Then I've got 100 before 1,000, so that bit means that it's 900. Then I've got a 50. Then I've got 2 10s, which means that it's 20. And then I've got a 1 before a 5, which means that it's a 4. So I'll put all those together. 1,900, 15, 20, 70. So 1,974. Okay, now year 6. I appreciate that there's quite a lot to remember in there. So take your time with it, use the video. Make sure you have that kind of success criteria as you do your work. And then your work for today. So there's this introduction sheet that kind of goes through what it is that you're looking at. This is going to be up there, so I'd have that up as you're doing your questions. And then it says answer the questions from 2 different sections, okay? So if you're starting on getting ready, I also want you to do ready. If you're starting on ready, I also want you to do steady. So this one is using quite small numbers. So in your books, I would expect you to write XIII equals, and then tell me which one of these it equals. Well, the X is a 10, and those 3 I's are 3, so that one's going to be 13. So in your book, I would expect to see XII equals 13, and go through that. Ready is you're working out how old these people are. So let's say we took Debbie, so in your books you'd write ready, and then you'd write Debbie. So 3 10s is going to be 30, and a 5 and a 1. So in your books you'd write Debbie equals 36. Steady, you don't have to fully complete this table, but it's got the names of explorers and then the date that they explored. So what I would expect in your book is write the person's name, write it in Roman numerals, and then write what date. So you need to work out what that is in normal numbers that we're used to. And then finally go, you're working out, unless they're not explorers, they're monarchs. You're working out how long these monarchs lived for. So for King Edward, that's when he was born, that's when he died. So you're going to work out those and then find out the difference between them, and that will tell you how long he was alive for. So you don't have to, you can set up a table that looks just like that, but if you write King Edward and then write those dates, change them to normal numbers that we'd use, and then the year of life. And that year 6 is everything for, all of that I just said, you weren't seeing it, were you? Let me quickly show you again, really quick. Sorry, that's a schoolboy error. This is the stuff that you need. So this was information that you need. Ready, so you'd be matching up that 13, you work out that 13, and so you'd write XII equals 13, and then you do the same for the rest. Ready, you would write Debbie, write it in Roman numerals, then tell me what her age is. So that's 10 3s, 3 10s, 30, a 5 and a 1, so that's 36. Steady is this, so write the person's name, write down that, and then work out what it is that the date they explored. And then finally go, write down the person's name, write down these 2 dates in Roman numerals, then write down what they are in normal numerals, and then work out how long they were alive for. So if they were born in 2008 and they died in 2020, you'd work out that that was 12 years. and so on. And that Year 6 is the maths lesson now. Okay, work hard. I look forward to seeing your work, and I will see you in the next magnificent, marvellous, monumental maths lesson. Goodbye.